3 different crew sets, and you just rotate out which crew you want to use for whatever scenario. So that just kind of depends.
So we're going through, just saying, Clint,
Oh, sure.
this is YouTube, so we're gonna go do
Oh,
Stargrave creation, and we're at the coffee shop. So see, it's me and Clint. There's Keeganator, D. Yeah, that was weak, D. Say hi again.
Hello.
Okay, that works. So there you go. It's impromptu to
It's
YouTube.
impromptu, yeah. Now that we've gone through crew creation for the most part.
Well, hey,
But,
we're
you
just,
know,
people can
and that's-
jump in and ask questions
Yeah,
about
and that's the
Stargrave
most
if they
part for the
want.
podcast.
Podcast.
The nice part of the crew creation part, the crew itself, if you did not take, say, a technical specialist for your captain or your first mate, you can now get a code breaker or a case cracker or a hacker or something to cover that. And your crew can be mixed and matched. Once you get money, and you do have to spend money to heal your crew because you don't want to leave them wounded. And you gotta watch it because wounded crew can become permanently wounded if you're not careful. You will roll for that at the end of a scenario. Like I told Keegan before, you could have, you're allowed up to 4 specialists. You could have 4 snipers if you really
4
wanted
specialists.
to.
All right.
Well, I got 2 at least.
Yeah, so that'll be handy in some regard. Problem with your snipers is, at least for the one scenario, you don't want them sitting still. And if they move, there is a +1 penalty to shoot, but it's a +1 penalty. It's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Yeah, 'cause I went with 2 snipers, a medic, 2 sentries, and 3 runners, so.
Yeah, you can have robotic crew members. Now, a robotic crew member will have the exact same stats as every other.
Yeah.
They're just not susceptible to things like gas clouds, poisons, stuff like that. Your crew's gear is pretty basic. It's whatever it lists. Usually it's some sort of firearm. If it's a hacker, it's gonna be a data pad. If it's a code breaker, or it's just a thief, case cracker, they're gonna have a pick set, stuff like that. They may or may not have armor. They may have heavy armor, they may have light armor. Depends on what you use. Obviously, armor is gonna affect movement and everything else. So you just kind of figure out how you wanna do it. When you're first building and first starting, I would not worry about spending a ton on specialists or heavy stuff. There are a couple
Go that way.
standard troop units that are free, basically. The recruit and the runner are free characters. You pay nothing for them. So you could even just build your entire crew out of recruits and runners. But bear in mind, they have the weakest armor, the slowest movement, and not the best stats.
Hold on a second. No, we're not early mini warm-up. We're just at the coffee shop. So this isn't the gamer hangout.
Oh,
We're just,
yeah, sorry.
we're going over Stargrave, and I'm just testing out the phone, actually. So we're just at the coffee shop, as you can see. And, yeah.
We're doing it the coffee.
Yeah, so it's not the gamer hangout, but it is Stargrave.
It's just talking about crew creation for Stargrave and stuff, since we've got crews created and we're starting to look at jumping in and playing.
You know, the more we talk about this, the more I kind of feel
We can-
felonied. Because it's an illegal felony to mess with the Stargrave.
What?
Yeah, well, whatever.
Okay.
We're
So
all
Keegan
bad
thinks
guys. What
he's
does it
funny.
matter?
He thinks he's funny.
No,
So,
you're
no,
right.
this
I'm not
is
funny.
our
I'm
normal-
hilarious.
So,
Well, no, he's going over crew creation, so
yeah.
yeah, we will.
Making a
This
podcast
is
at the same time.
this is
anymore,
but mini warm up. This is kind of a test for when the crew is created. Then we're gonna maybe next week we can do a game, huh?
We're talking about.
Because
at
why
this
not?
point,
We might
yeah,
just do a
getting,
live.
getting
Yeah.
a beginning game figured out,
Yeah.
learning to play.
So yeah, it's a bit early, but it's not our normal show. We're just trying to get out.
Hanging out.
Basically, the idea was to do a podcast. We just decided to expand.
Yeah,
it.
we're doing the podcast at the same time.
But
So
people on this podcast are gonna be so confused.
they're gonna be like, "What?
Yeah, well,
Not really.
it really
I mean,
doesn't start in the beginning of the podcast, so even in the middle of the podcast. And most everyone has listened to our commute, so they're used to us being all over the map anyway.
Squirrel.
Not really, and we're not really that far off topic. We are still talking about Stargrave.
Yep. You know,
This is not a
technically, that's
test, it's a
technically
good game.
dice.
Good?
Yeah, we play that game every day. Mini warm up. We test.
Oh. All right, so since we've kind of covered that, I want to touch base with Dee, and I want to touch base with Keegan, and I want to talk about what you guys created for crew and why.
Where's the base? Where
Base, we're touching the base.
touch. Okay. Touch the
This
base.
is the base.
Touch.
This is the base.
You know
Table
what?
holds
I'm not
everything
going
up.
to.
Base.
I'm not going to touch it because you know what? Cause it's all about that base, no
Base.
trouble.
You just went live with that. And that's
Watch
Keegan,
it.
who's practicing for Dancing with the Stars or some
Yeah,
shit. Yeah.
sure, something.
Yeah, something.
So congratulations, that
So-
will live on the internet forever now.
Huh? What?
Come on.
Who are you saying hi to, Keegan?
What? Hi, what?
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, so.
And then there's poor Dee. She's trying
What?
to.
She's trying to put things in an
Well, you're not
organized
poor. You
fashion,
have a
so
lot of money. It's just
I'm
you
just-
hide your money. in
I'm
there.
recopying my chicken stretch.
Okay, well,
What did what was Mini Warm Oh boy?
I don't-
Probably you were dancing, man.
yeah, probably.
Probably you doing that.
yeah.
Because he rolled his eyes at it too.
Well, I figure if I'm recopying it, I might
Yeah.
come up with a question
Yeah,
or
sure,
something.
that's fine. Well, then I'll start with Keegan. So let's go over your build. Let's talk to us about your captain and your first mate. What you went with and why.
Okay, so with my captain, which I'm gonna use the Necron for, so he'll be robotic.
That makes sense.
You're gonna use a Necron.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
you
why
can.
not?
You can.
Yeah,
So
so
he's-
he's gonna be a techer. So he's got data skip, data knock, and data jump. Create a holographic wall and transport. So literally hack in, toss somebody off the board.
Yep.
Damn, that's
So
smart.
his is based
Okay.
around just the data.
Yeah,
So
being
it's
that didn't get data off the board, and then went with a rogue, which I'm gonna go. I still gotta find one to get it to you. A rocket raccoon.
Oh yeah, for sure. That'd be cool.
Rocket Raccoon for that. He'll have bait and switch, cancel power, quick step, and conceal firearm. Because why not
Sure.
hide your gun and?
So you're basically.
Oh, hey, I have this little device. Bang.
Yeah. So basically, what you're covering on your end is being able to hack any type of code loot, any kind of data loot, and any kind of physical loot, so crates or whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't. Quick step.
The rogue kind of covers the. Yeah, just.
I don't know if
movement
I
things.
even have the ability to break in with Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, rogue, I think, generally does. Now, I know we're talking about powers, and we didn't go into detail on the powers, and that's fine. I can touch base on that later.
Because with the bait and switch, I
Yeah,
have to
that's
wait till they
true.
broke it in.
Yeah, it's true. So.
Oh, I might have to rethink my.
Well, just grab,
crew.
yeah, I'd say grab a crew member like a case breaker or something, or you could even do a chiseler. Just as
You know
chiselers are
what?
really cheap.
Where is? I'll get rid of my 2 centuries.
So you have
Go with the what was the case?
many
breaker?
more money. You
A
got
case breaker
400 credits to
Is
start
getting your
with.
better locksmith or the
create
better
your-
lockpick, but they
your
are
guy,
75
so-
credits.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So
That leaves me.
They're
as
they're
long
not
as you
too
don't exceed
expensive,
4
then, are they?
specialists, you're good.
Clint, it
What?
doesn't sound like they're very expensive, so it gives you enough money to get it.
Oh, the crew.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, crew can be expensive if you want a lot of specialists, because you're allowed up to 4 specialists. Some of the specialists
Yeah.
are 100 credits.
Keegan
each.
decided
Well,
to
one
dance.
of them's, one
That
of them's
is for sure.
150.
So and
Yeah.
Which
you
is
know
what I
where we're
got.
at anyways,
Yeah.
I
right?
got the 150.
Dance again, Keegan.
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on.
No.
No,
You had
let's-
it.
It
You
has
had
to
a
be-
request.
It's
yeah,
in
we
the
need to stay
moment.
on track though.
It's in the
He
moment.
doesn't want to do it
He
again.
can't.
We'll
It's
try to
not
catch him.
impromptu. He's
We'll
gotta
try to
just.
catch him.
But that would, yeah, that's
gotta
gonna give
feel
you
it.
that option, because not every loot's gonna be secure. Generally, the main objective loot is the one that you know is probably gonna be either locked or data coded or something.
Yeah.
You know, so you can count on that, for sure.
So yeah. So anywho, so now that went over my first mate, and then for my crew, I went with 2 snipers, a medic, 4 runners, and now my case breaker, which leaves me an extra
Yeah.
25 credits.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So the runner is basically your standard grunt soldier.
But
And
if
it's
you're,
free, you don't pay any points for that.
if you're using a Necron now, so you've got the Necron to teleport between.
The teleport, the dad, take care of my dad.
Right.
Yeah.
And then your runner is what, faster? I
Runner
Yeah,
mean,
he
is-
moves faster.
Runner
Light
is a
armor and a
standard
knife, I
soldier.
think.
He has a pistol and a knife, and that's it. There's nothing else. He has basically just heavy clothes.
heavy
A
close.
runner is a red shirt, plain and simple. A runner and a recruit are red shirts.
So
The
that's-
nice thing is the runner is a little faster than the recruit.
But
Yeah, that's why I went with him instead.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. So if you structure this crew right, you're going to be able to get the loot, get off the board, but you don't engage the other person.
You could.
You could,
Potentially, yeah.
depending on the
That's
scenario.
what my sniper there for in case D gets too close or
Okay.
whoever gets too
Yeah.
close. Hey, back off!
But
it's mine.
Your sniper would also be useful against the creatures
Right, I could knock
So,
them all off,
The
try to prevent
the
an
tricky
attack.
part with the creatures and stuff, especially if you're snipers, if it is engage one of your crew, shooting into your crew does run the risk of hitting your crew instead of the creature.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's worth it. It's just a runner.
Yeah, but I mean, it's definitely an option. Now, the standard game is gonna be 1 main loot and 4 additional loot, 2 data, 2 physical loot.
Yeah.
That's the standard game. Now, we were talking heavy on that other one because that's what that scenario was all about. But you can also, in a normal game, you possibly can shoot the other person. Just
Is
either
it
try
cold
to
here?
stop them or
Warmuck can go sticky
Taquito.
at 80 degree
Little bit.
temperatures.
He's got 80-degree temperatures. Well, whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
We would have 80 degrees too if we turned the thermostat up.
It's only 70 in here, but still
We're
feels
good.
cold.
fine. It's a small room. We're good.
It's not that cold, mini warm.
You know what? Hey,
not
we put them up. Guess what? We in the hood now.
That's right, man.
Now we in the hood.
This is Keegan, infamous Keegan. If he's not dancing, he's telling jokes, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
I think. Anyways,
Dean, let's look at
Yes.
your configuration here.
I'm sorry. Those of you on the podcast,
Brian, like,
we're also broadcasting to YouTube, so just
Yeah.
it's been fun.
So, all right. So your captain and your first mate. What are you going with?
Mystic
Okay.
and cyborg.
Okay. So your
First
captain's a mystic, which means what does it give them? Kind of
Okay. Void blade,
nice. That's
suggestion, puppet master.
that's sick.
I know. That's why I picked it.
And I'll talk about the powers here in a minute.
Mystic trance and fling.
Yeah, fling's not nice either.
I know.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So you're
I'm
basically
using War Machine characters. I can't remember what her name
yeah.
is.
Oh, I
Where's
don't
the
know.
robots?
Gosh.
And then what are you doing on your first mate? For your first mate?
It's her
First mate's
it's
a
her
cyborg,
robot-y
so-
thing, so it's
That's-
a cyborg.
oh, yeah,
The
that-
cyborg,
I'm
yeah.
doing
Yeah,
a
you get your
cyborg,
call.
and so her companion mech I'm using for the cyborg first mate.
Okay. So what do they have? What's your first mate have?
Oh, I
for
guess I have to
goodies?
go back
So
to the
just
page
go
that I
over
have,
here.
yeah.
So,
Okay,
So here's Dee creating her character.
hi.
There's her notes.
She has energy shield. Oh, that's my chicken scratch.
Still,
Well, I can't read it.
I made it
energy
really
shield's
nice.
handy.
Okay.
Okay, energy
Jeez.
shield, because it absorbs 3 dangerous.
Yes. 3 damage. Yeah.
Damage, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
See, I can't even read
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Mini Warmut's just hanging in there for us. Thank you, Mini Warmut. I guess people are bouncing in and out, but
Data knock,
Yeah. Data knock is going to let
Unlocks
you.
the
That's
data.
going to let you. Yeah. That lets you hack into a system.
we have a
instantly.
question.
lift.
Sure.
E equals MC squared, and that is the answer. That's the final answer. That's the only answer you need
Okay.
to know.
Hold on,
So what-
Keegan. So, Mini Warmut, who's over here on YouTube, so everyone on the
Yeah.
podcast knows, is
So that's
asking,
Brian.
where's the robots? You got robots in here?
There
Yes.
are robots. In
Okay,
there.
so there's robots in
So
the
they
game.
cannot be your main, so your captain, your first mate, but you can have robots in your crew. So they work just like any other crew, except they're a little hardier, and immune to certain things. I actually kind of touched base on that briefly earlier, and he probably missed that. But yes, you can use robots. In fact, the crew I'm building has 2 robots in it. They're actually my specialists.
Wait, you can turn them into robots?
No, they're just robots. We're robots. They're part of the game. They're the actual miniatures for the game.
Oh.
So you can.
So yeah, I can use them.
So you can. You can use them.
My 2 robots are probably going to be. I'm thinking about making one a commando, and the other a grenadier, but I'm not sure.
That
Well,
kind of
don't they-
that kind of sounds Star Wars like with that black
Kinda.
robot
Well,
unit.
if you'd actually seen the miniatures, they're very Star Wars droid looking.
No, are they?
The elongated, narrow face and everything. Yeah,
Oh
they're
geez.
just really cool. But yeah,
It's
they're just
not
crew.
the
They're
droids you're
not-
looking for.
Oh
Sorry.
my
Yeah.
God.
How to do it? How to do it? How to
So
do it.
yeah, there's a lot of things the robots aren't affected by, like lack of oxygen. So certain events, like if we're doing a mission on a spaceship, and you blow a hole in the hull,
Send in
the
the robot.
robots don't care, but it will affect the rest of your crew. So it just all kind of depends. And there are some scenarios I want to work on that are on a spaceship. We'll use the kill team,
Oh, that'd
a
be
rogue
cool.
trader map
Yep.
for taking the one ship. So that one will be interesting. And there are a couple scenarios in the book for salvaging derelict ships.
And stealing ships.
Taking not so much stealing ships, but taking the loot off the ship.
Oh.
That,
That'd be kind of cool to be able to run up on each other and hey, bang, shoot the
yeah.
ship.
So,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, so you definitely use robots. All right, Dee, sorry, continue on with your first mate.
Okay,
Just want to
so,
see if anybody would respond. The only one who's watching the mini warm-up, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Me, Brian, don't want to
He's-
see me dance
he's-
again.
so my cyborg has, so it has energy shield, which absorbs 3 damage.
Nope.
Data knock, which unlocks data. Lift, what does that do?
That's kind of like telekinesis where you're moving
Okay.
something, but
Okay, and regenerate.
that's
So
handy.
you can regenerate yourself.
Yeah, well,
You
yeah,
regenerate damage.
and can't you, doesn't yours have one where if I kill off one of your guys, you can walk up and
Yeah,
heal it?
so she has the zombification one, that's actually on her captain.
Oh, okay,
That's one thing I was gonna
okay.
talk about with powers, because that's one we definitely want to address.
Can you use the droid or the robot as the first mate or the
Oh,
leader?
that's the puppet master?
Not the
No.
captain.
The captain or the first mate cannot be robots. They can be cyborgs, but they cannot be robots.
So that'd be no mini warm-up.
So the puppet master is the one that makes zombies.
That's right,
Yes,
yeah.
Puppet Master makes zombies, and a Puppet Master will take a character that has a wound, 0 wounds, and reanimates it. Yours or your other crew's. Doesn't matter whose, as long as she's near it, boop, there it goes, it's somebody.
But then it belongs to me.
It belongs to you.
There's the
You control it.
MFA, modeling for advantage, he's in there
So
now.
you
Oh, is
die,
he?
you die, I
Who?
bring you
Can
back
possibly-
to life. and
Hello,
you belong-
Kaiser.
you
This is
belong
just a
to
test
me.
stream.
Yeah,
from
no
our-
thanks.
Now, after the scenario is over, after the death,
Don't they go
you
back
don't
to
get
dead?
to keep them. They're just dead. They're done.
Well, that sucks.
But
So Kaiser, this is for modeling for advantages here. So this is our test stream on the phone, so check
Yep.
this. This is our coffee shop. See the table we got? I know you guys on the podcast.
This is home base.
Yeah. Then there's Keegan who does the dancing. Otherwise, yeah. Yeah, we're at the coffee shop, man, and I don't mean to interrupt Clint, so go ahead.
Yeah. So
Master Clint.
Whoever you are.
He's the game master.
one thing that we haven't touched on with our crew yet, and I wanted to get this, is your gear. So there's a limit on how much gear someone can carry. A crew crew members can only carry 1 piece of gear. Plus that you can swap that gear. The captain and the first mate, however, have the ability to carry more gear, but it is still limited. So a captain has 6 slots for carrying gear, which means you can carry 6 pieces of gear or items.
Sorry,
No, you're fine.
we got a request for Keegan to dance. Go ahead, Clint.
Nah, you're fine.
It's not out of, it's okay.
Eventually, it's gonna it will happen again.
Yeah,
It's just not,
Yeah, it's
you
true.
can't, he doesn't have it choreographed, it has to be spontaneous.
This is just off the cuff with coffee kind of thing.
well, and we're actually podcasting, so there is a purpose, but,
Keegan just
Podcast
had-
has gone
Yeah.
everywhere.
Keegan doesn't hold his coffee well,
so
that's where the dance comes in.
the captain can have
Yeah,
6
I
gear
can't read.
slots, the first mate gets 5. So that's gonna be your weapons, your armor, your whatever, your extra stuff. The captain can pull their gear from the general equipment list.
Oh, now we gotta go through gear for him.
Yeah, gear is now where you wanna look at, and that's one of the things we were gonna get to after we did the crew and everything. Like I said before, crew gets 1 gear slot, and that's, you pick whatever from there. But, you know,
Definitely gotta make a suggestion,
No.
you play this game, I would definitely just get a laptop and run an Excel sheet rather than writing it all down, it'd be a whole lot easier.
Just proving the mini warm-up, you can actually write, Keegan, that's all.
you can
I know
write-
he's
Just
gonna
don't
ask.
attempt to read it.
He's
Yeah,
gonna ask.
Well, I can't even read mine, so
so,
join the club.
some gear require more than 1 slot, depending. Most of the time, a simple knife, a handgun, pistol, whatever, they're only gonna take 1 gear slot. But like a carbine rifle, shotgun, for example, is gonna take 2. It's because it's a bigger weapon. Armor does take a gear slot, which means for a crew member who only has 1 gear slot, you're pretty much only gonna have 1 weapon. Now, bear in mind, crew, when you first take them, automatically come with some gear. So it's not like your crew has nothing. It's like, oh,
So they come with basic gear,
So-
and then we'll select an
For-
additional gear for them.
for example, your runner. We're just gonna use the runner. The runner comes with a pistol and a knife
Right.
and 1 gear slot.
Good question, mini warm-up, because we didn't ask him if we could say something. So just to be on the safe side, we're not saying what coffee shop we're at. I mean, because
I think it's very obvious by the
It's
colorful
pretty-
cups that are.
Well, you gotta think where they're at. They don't have one because this
You
place is
probably don't
only
have one.
available
Yeah,
in
this is only
2
Midwest,
states.
so I'm just gonna say we're
So we're
excluded
not
coffee.
at the famous one, we're not.
We're not at Starbucks,
We're not.
no.
Oh no, he said
I
the
don't care.
word.
We're
Sorry.
not getting paid, so we're not copywriting anything.
That's true.
And we're not there.
And we're
So-
saying where we're not.
We're across the street from there.
At this point, I've seen
We're
enough
down
people
at the
have
coffee
Starbucks
shop.
cups in their videos. It doesn't matter.
No mini warm-up, there's a lot of out here in Iowa,
So, for
including
example,
the
Keegan,
internet.
your
What, we have
sniper.
internet?
A coffee shop on every corner.
Yeah.
Clint's getting frustrated.
Well, let's see. Ours is across the street from a Starbucks, so.
That's what I just
I mean,
said.
we can see the Starbucks
He
from
doesn't
here.
pay attention. I just said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, for example, your sniper, Keegan, is going to come with a carbine, light armor, and a hand weapon of your choice, probably a knife or something. So, it's an option for you, plus you get one gear slot. Now, the reason that the captain and the first mate get more gear slots, and the reason that's important, is as you steal loot, it could contain unique gear, alien artifacts, high-tech stuff that you can equip on your character for later campaigns. There is that possibility, so you will use a gear slot depending on how many slots it needs. The plus side,
A giant unicorn hat?
no.
Oh.
But if you got a laser rifle, for example, it's gonna be a 2 slot, but at this
With
point.
unicorn colors?
Sure.
Lots of pink.
Also armor
Lots of
slots.
pink and purple and yellow and blues and greens?
Aqua.
Yeah.
Why are you? No, why are you? Every time. Every time.
Ford full.
Everybody's probably like, okay, we are staying off the shore tonight. We do
don't
not
like-
want to see that again.
We don't
Right.
like each other at all.
We're getting some of the goofiness out
We're
before the
acting-
actual.
We're
Hang
we're
on.
good
Dude,
actors.
get hit on the
We do not
caffeine.
like each other at all.
Yeah.
We do not get
We are
along in real
frustrating
life.
Clint though horrifically because
So-
he's trying to maintain his train of thought.
He's
We're sorry.
trying to stay on track, but
Sorry.
he's only one thing.
Sorry, sorry.
All right, so your, and this part is important, so I apologize. But for the captain and the first mate, you don't get assigned crew. All right, gear, you have to pick it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
So you already know you have a sword.
True.
So your sword is 1 gear slot.
Dun dun dun. That's all you get.
So that would leave you with 5 gear slots.
What?
My
We get a total of 6 gear
So the
slots.
cap, yes, if you've been paying attention earlier instead of goofing
No,
off.
I've been dancing about all about
Yeah,
that.
uh-huh.
The
The
only
captain
way.
gets 6 gear slots, the first mate gets 5.
Okay.
The only way you can get the 4 of us in one room is you have to pay us enough.
What? I'm not paying anybody anything.
What?
Gamer for coffee.
Now, screw this crap. I'm out. I'm out of here now. That's
Wait
it,
up.
that's it. I'm not getting paid. I'm out. I'm out. Bye.
All right, see, we can't pay.
All right,
Breathe deep, breathe.
so
No oxygen in here.
you have the option to purchase,
What? What? We don't get paid and now there's no oxygen?
yes. I'm out.
God, this is horrible. This is...
What did you guys ever do without me? You actually stayed on track, maybe?
No.
Sorry.
No, it was just all about that face, about that face.
So,
You guys got the dance.
I would say spend a gear slot on.
You just have to be
armor.
patient and wait. It happens.
Lighter.
Yeah, just,
Okay. I'm composed.
because it makes sense your captain would have light armor plus the sword. Your sword is what has the void blade power, which I know I keep saying I'll get back to the powers and then I don't, but I will.
Okay. So
Did-
light armor and, okay.
And then the sword. You can give them a pistol if you want, you have the slot for it, but that gives you 4 additional slots for other stuff like,
Have
you
to
know,
do that.
yeah, and you'll want to go through some of the other gear
Oh,
stuff
picture
as
of it?
well. Well, there's several pages for your equipment.
Okay.
Not that everyone's got to breathe.
Well, either that or I'm gonna have to, look at the book for a little while.
Yeah, well, that's fine,
Again.
but that's fine, that's just, we're just trying to get the basic stuff done. Your first mate, who's gonna have 5 slots, I would say heavy armor because of what he is, which is actually gonna.
True.
Oh, crystal blood.
Heavy
I've
armor
actually
is
seen
still
that.
1 gear slot,
Because he's a mech,
yeah, basically,
heavy armor.
so that's only 1 gear slot for that, and I think he had a sword, didn't he?
I think so. I think they
Okay,
both have
so
swords,
let's say you got 1 gear slot for your sword, basically. It's
Okay.
considered a hand weapon in this,
Oh,
which
and I
is
put
fine.
sword here too.
Yeah, I would
for
put sword, so,
Sword and light armor,
Yeah.
sword and heavy armor.
And then you'll just be able to, it's just heavy armor will be a little better.
Well, yeah, because he's like a mech, so. Okay.
Um,
And how many slots do I have in?
So
for
you
my
have
captain?
6 for the captain, 5 for the first mate.
Okay.
All right. So what are you thinking for a weapon for your captain, Keegan?
Thinking something.
Were you going to do a long gun?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So your captain.
I'd rather do a carbine rifle, not
Well,
not
so-
fully automatic.
The carbine is actually in this game basically your standard rifle. So I guess easiest way to explain anything they list as carbine is a non-rapid fire weapon. So most of the standard bolt
Rapid
action
fire.
rifles, whatever, would be a carbine, and rapid fire is going to be your auto weapon. So
Okay.
your ARs and all that stuff. Then you got a shotgun. That's basically how this breaks those weapons down.
Let's give a shotgun to the captain.
Okay, so that will give you that's 2 gear slots for that. A little more limited range, but it's cool. It also has a damage modifier, which we'll talk to about when we start playing. Then you'll want to consider armor as well.
Shotgun.
At
You're
very
ready to
least-
get off my music trail.
I'm riding shotgun.
At very least, I would say light armor for you, but you could do heavy armor. It just is a -1 gear movement if you do heavy armor.
What? So we consider light and heavy?
Yeah, light and heavy. I mean, there's combat armor as well.
What about a
Um,
flamethrower? Do they have those?
Yes,
Okay, so flamethrowers, what do you call them? Just flamethrowers?
flamethrower.
All right. Well, Warhammer is a little different, sir.
Well, this isn't Warhammer, is it? You could give your captain combat armor, which would take 2 gear slots.
Well, it would.
And it doesn't actually give you a move penalty. So that might be bad for you.
Yeah,
So
I was
It's a
gonna do
plus 4 to
combat
your
armor.
armor mod, so that's plus 4 to your damage resistance. That's kind of nice.
Okay, so it adds that much to the damage?
It does.
And
Wow,
it
plus
took 2
4
gears
to the
up.
It takes 2 gear slots. You also pay 50 credits at the end of every game to upkeep it.
Plus 4 to the damage.
Ouch!
So,
And if you don't have it,
yeah. But
So-
you get free gear with it. So it includes the hand weapon, includes basically a hand weapon, so a knife, a pistol, and a filter mask. Automatically comes with that combat armor. It's basically it's environmental armor. In your case, it just looks like your Necron robot suit, basically. You just have really.
oh, I'm
unique
definitely
fancy-
gonna. Can I put that same thing on? Yeah, I'm gonna already
Did you
switch
want
over.
to scan the page, or?
We will in a minute.
What is he always looking?
I'm gonna put that on Rocket Raccoon already.
You could, yeah, for sure.
So that's your character, Keegan? Rocket.
Rockets is for
Yeah,
sure.
I gotta find an STL file and then have Clint print it out so
Yeah.
that
Some of those Rocket Raccoon files are expensive, man.
we'll be paying what I say
I don't know,
40
Crisis Protocol.
bucks
Yeah,
for
40 bucks
bucks
for
for
the
Crisis
miniature.
Protocol. Like, hey, yeah, no.
Nope.
I mean, I check eBay and see, but
I'm gonna get
I
a little
did.
tiny Barbie and Ken for him to print. And then.
Why, so you can see a Barbie girl in the Barbie world?
I already have a list of things I need to be printing, and I'm not. I gotta
And
print a whole set of
dog
dice.
and a-
Yeah.
Well, nobody's printed anything for me yet, so somebody needs to print something. Okay.
Well, okay, but in all fairness, you asked us to print money and we can't do that.
Okay, so I got 2 more slots to do something with.
Now, you can leave those open for gear that you acquire later. You don't need to.
Can you
utilize
take
them.
your gear on and off as you go?
You can but you have so when we start the scenario, when we start playing, whatever you pick is what you have.
Right.
So next time you can change that.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
Yeah,
so I could fill it out, max it out for the first event,
Yep.
and then before event number 2, I can swap out as I want what I want
yeah,
as I want.
You know, you might want something that's not gonna be so imposing.
Yeah.
The nice thing with like the combat armor is it already gives you a knife, a pistol, and a filter mask. So you don't have to pay gear slots for that stuff. So the filter mask, which is handy, basically it's a gas mask.
Yeah.
Includes an oxygen supply. Figure wearing filter mask is never affected by gas or low oxygen levels. So when we're playing on ships or highly toxic areas, you know, if that's part of the scenario.
You know, I
then
might just say fuck it, and that might be what
Well-
everyone gets.
You also
You are
have
live streaming, dude. It's
yeah,
okay.
that's
Yeah.
split.
It's all right.
You
Yeah,
also
dude.
have, for your tech side of it, a deck that you would want to purchase for one of them.
Now, question, Clint, how, is toxic environments gonna come up with this quite a
Yes.
bit? Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
so the
I'm just-
scenario will dictate whether it's a toxic environment or not. You may be in a jungle area that has low oxygen or some sort of poisonous gas being emitted by the plants.
Okay, but I'm just saying, it's something you're gonna run
It's
across.
something you could run
So
across.
it
depending
might
on the
not be a
scenario.
bad idea to actually at least load some others with it, at least
Yep.
snipers or somebody.
What about gas masks?
Well,
Do
the-
they have
you-
Well,
that?
that's what that filter mask is.
Okay, well, I'm
Yes,
just
and you
asking.
can give those to crew. I mean, crew have one slot,
Yeah.
so,
Oh, no, you can't. There's a 2-slot.
yeah, okay, those you can't. That's, well, the filter mask you can. It's a one, the filter mask itself is
Oh,
a
yeah.
one slot item. The same with your deck. Now, when you took if you take the Cyber Runner or the Cyber Cracker, they automatically get the deck. But your main character, your
Tecker.
Techer, like, doesn't have it, they don't get a deck automatically. You would need a deck to hack.
Okay, so I need a deck.
Yeah.
How much is that?
Deck is one slot because it's small. The nice thing with a deck is when you have a deck, it gives you a +6 to your roll to unlock data loot. Now you unlock data loot automatically with your one power. But you
I
have
got,
to-
the data
So-
knock.
the data knock, but you have to declare that's your turn. You're not doing anything else that turn, but using that power.
Right.
So, well, actually, no, let me check on, data knock might work automatically.
Because if it does, it would not be
Then
wise
you
for me to
wouldn't-
have
you
that.
wouldn't-
But
yeah.
it wouldn't hurt to put that on my first bank.
It wouldn't. Let me see what
What do
data
you-
knock.
So it's not too terribly complicated to give your characters what they need for this game.
No, no.
And
It's
it,
just a
and it
matter
seems
of-
like once you're set up, then you're
Yeah.
set up. You're
You're good to go.
But that's what I'm
and-
saying, so
And you
now,
have the option to.
then you're maintenance. after.
well, here's a question I have, because I didn't get to sit to you guys the last time. So you want to try to make the crew as adaptable to whatever environment you may want to play in. But can you have more than one crew, so you could swap them out
You
depending on
could,
the
that's what I'm
environment
saying.
that
So-
you go to?
The only restriction with the game is you have to purchase that crew. You have to
Oh,
pay the
okay,
money.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's
Yeah,
not
so you
something you're
can-
gonna have.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
can have all these guys, and then I can go purchase more runners
So you
or
do what
whatever.
you can with
Data
those.
knock does require you to use your power that turn.
Right,
So it's
but it's
not
an
automatic.
auto.
It'll automatically unlock it as long as you succeed using your power. You still have to make a check to make sure you can use your power. And I still need to look up on how we use powers, because there is the strain on some of them have strain, some of them require energy to activate. That's something we've gotta still look at before we actually jump in and play. I know hers have a lot of power requirements, but they're not,
Can
they have a
I,
lot of requirements, but they're not heavy requirements.
Can I pick up a
I have
pick?
some strain.
Yeah,
can I pick up a pick for gear slot?
your pick, yes. Didn't you grab a cracker?
I did, but
a
it wouldn't
tool?
hurt to have
So have to have
I
it.
have a backup person to be able to.
Well, no, that wouldn't hurt to have it.
So
It's
I have.
here, so.
Yeah.
You also can spend money to improve your ship, which gives you things. Now,
Like rocket launchers that come from outer space?
well, so the ship, I'll touch on the ship real quick.
Rocket launcher?
So you can
Notice-
upgrade the medical suite, you can have an armament workshop, a communications array, external cargo pods, extra quarters, meditation chamber, robotic workshop, and weapons locker. And these all have different effects out of the game. The med bay is one that I would suggest everyone building their ship have, because it makes it so much easier when you're trying to heal your crew.
Oh yeah, might as well.
And you're
have.
spending a lot less money.
Well, what's your ship start with?
None of that.
It's just.
It's
Oh.
a ship.
Hey, Mr. Annex, it's okay. We're just testing, man. This isn't the normal show anyway, so, yeah, we're just testing the live stream from the coffee shop. And Clint, maybe one more wants to know, you have target lock on anything? Is there any
It's
kind
a
of,
power that gives you a bonus to your shooting. And I think you might have it.
I wonder if can I get that as a gear for snipers?
No, you cannot. It's not gonna, unfortunately, give you your sniper as an option. I have to look. I know it's a power that it gives you like a +1 or +2 to your shoot ability.
So, yeah.
There's also artifacts, alien artifacts, special high-tech weapons that will do that as well. But you gotta find it first. So you don't start with any high-tech toys. You're starting with pretty much basic stuff.
Well, this is bull crap.
So, I wanna jump into powers, since we keep kind of putting off the powers real quick.
Okay, what about the
So we're
powers?
gonna jump into the powers real quick, because we were already talking about Keegan's data knock and stuff like that. D has bait and switches, which is one, and, so bait and switch is kind of fun. Basically what she can do with that is, let's say Keegan's character has a loot token and they're almost off the board, and Dee decides to use her bait and switch power. Well, that character now needs to make a willpower roll. If he fails a willpower roll, he tosses the loot.
Okay, so you fail, you throw it away?
The guy,
Ooh.
if he doesn't make his check, he tosses that loot within 4 inches. Now, if he has another crew member who happens to be real close to him,
You can pick it
he
up.
just picks it up and,
What are you
Off you
doing?
go with
Billy?
yep. But see, Keegan has something like that too, where you can just
Yeah.
fling it out of the
I got the
hand.
bait. Yeah, see, I got the bait and switch on my first
Fling?
mate.
Yeah, I think it's fling actually. Let me-
I
I
have,
think it's data jump. I can take
But-
it out of somebody's
Yeah, the
hand.
data jump, but only
I have
works on
fling.
data. It doesn't
Right,
work on.
But I had the bait and switch on my first mate, and then I got my data jump on my captain.
Okay, sure.
I
That makes sense. Well,
I have fling, I don't know, is it called bait and switch?
no, bait and switch is actually
Your fling, you can throw people, if I remember.
fling
right.
is you throw people, which means you can throw people off a building.
I have.
Like my
puppet
Oh, I thought you had
master.
bait and switch.
I
No,
don't-
his rogue has bait and switch.
Yeah, my rogue
Yeah.
had bait and
Okay,
switch.
that's what that was. I'm sorry.
I've also
My
got
bad.
cancel power, which I
I-
think that cancels like her fling ability.
I think yeah, you can make an attempt to cancel.
Stop it.
What?
Now
Stop it. Go ahead.
the cancel immediately cancels all effects of one ongoing line of sight power. So it only works on line of sight power. It has
I'm not
no
looking.
effect on other powers,
Huh?
powers with
I'm not
other
looking.
designation. Which reminds me, I wanna check something. What was your zombie one?
Puppet
Puppet Master.
master.
Fling ability,
Yeah,
that's just
Puppet
gonna be,
Master is not a line of sight effect.
You know
which
what?
means
Just
can't
don't use
cancel
that anywhere near monkeys, or they'll start
It
flinging
is a
food.
touch, which means you've gotta get close to the crew. Also, Puppet Master does not work on robots.
so,
Does that include all of his necrons?
you're,
Well, they're not robots.
Okay, good.
Who aren't robots, what?
Most of his crew won't be Necrons. It's just probably the miniatures we'll use.
Okay.
So, now also remember with your psychic shield, once that damage is reduced, you have to reactivate it. So you have to spend a turn or a power. And whenever you're using a power, you're not making a combat attack or anything. You're spending that turn or that action to use a power. You'll still be able to move because you always get a movement in that phase. But
okay.
I don't have psychic shield though.
well, you have a shield ability of some sort. We'll cross that.
Okay.
Okay, I got a question. Can we pull loans from people in this game?
No.
Pull loans.
Well, there's like
Do you have
sponsors
the
or
card
whatever.
shark ability?
And
Right.
we already know that nobody's printing any money.
Well, yeah,
Now your void blade, that was the other one I really wanted to touch on. Your void
Yes.
blade.
Yeah, screw that
So
thing.
applies to your sword in this case.
Okay, what does the activate 10 thing mean?
Well,
for
that's
that?
that's the cost active. We'll touch on
Okay.
that. So the void blade does an additional 2 damage and the weapon's indestructible.
it's indestructible.
Yep.
Okay.
It means you have to sacrifice 10 Warhammer pieces to activate it.
No, them too
Okay.
expensive, man.
So let me go over power descriptions. Alright, so the name is the name of the power. Activation, so this is the base activation number of the power. This number increases if the power comes from outside the figure's background, so it's not part of your core group, or if it is taken by the first mate, as explained in chapter 1. The figure using this power is sometimes referred to as the activator. Strain is the amount of damage taken by the activation of the power if it's successfully activated. That's gonna hurt you a bit, because your shield does not block that. So you wanna be very careful how you're using your powers. Same with Keegan.
What?
So strain on your power,
Yeah.
that's physical damage that you take. So Dee's got some strain 2 stuff, because she's got some high-end stuff. She would take 2 points of damage using that power.
Using the.
Constant.
Sorry, I was responding to many Warmite.
So even some of the stuff that, like bait and switch is a strain 2. So you'll take 2 points of damage to use bait and switch.
Constant.
Now, activation is the base number for your die roll. So you need, when you're rolling the dice, you need like, say, bait and switch is a 12, you need a 12 or less, which means you're probably gonna activate it pretty easy.
So it's,
Because you're rolling a d20.
Yeah, this isn't points based. This is you
We're answering
start
a
and
question.
you pick from.
so you get 400
what?
credits,
Oh,
and then you buy
Well,
what
that's
you
for,
want.
for the crew. It's
for
correct.
the
Yeah.
crew.
That's what
you still
someone was
gotta-
asking me.
You still gotta create your captain, your first mate. Those you
Yes,
don't
but-
spend credits on.
But on equipping yourself, don't you?
Equipment, so there's no cost on the equipment. That's the nice thing. The equipment doesn't cost you anything, it just takes a gear slot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
But to buy other equipment after it starts,
Yes.
yeah,
Then
then
it's
there's,
credit.
there's something different with that. A lot of times, you'll find better equipment in the loot. Because once you get the loot off the table and the scenario's done, everybody rolls to see what their loot is.
yeah, and you can sell extra loot, can't you?
You can sell the extra loot for money. You can, if you get a better weapon, you can
Sell
sell
your.
your old weapon for credit.
So you'd make.
Okay.
Find the loot table.
So actually, there's a lot to choose
a lot
from
to
creating
this.
your crew. You have a lot of options. It's not very expensive, and once you create the crew,
No, and it's open source. So whatever
Wow.
miniatures you
Yes.
want to bring to the table, bring it. It's open source. You don't have to have a
You can-
specific.
do you have a battery charger?
No, I don't.
Well, man, live streaming here, man. I've got like 5% of my battery, and then it's gonna die.
Well, you know what? I could probably try to switch to my phone. If you know your
Yeah.
path. Well,
you
that'd be
probably
it.
at this point.
Yeah.
So what I'll
We're
do
kinda
is,
wrapping.
hold on a second.
We'll wrap it up tonight when we during the show.
Yeah.
So,
Catch some people up.
So we're gonna say goodbye from the coffee shop because my phone's at 5%.
yeah.
So I don't know who else is there. I know Mini Warmut's there. I know Dave, you're there.
I think Crystal's there too.
And I'm not sure who else is there. But thank you for showing up. We're just trying to
Trying to see what we
testing
can do. Yeah.
yeah. And this is kind of the room we get to go to, you know. So that's why we're here, man. But thank you. Yeah, we'll see you later, Mini Warmut, okay?
Bye.
So for the podcast, we're gonna still go for a little bit.